Hello, everyone. It's been a while since I've actually gotten to make a recording because I've been releasing a lot of the old pre-recorded content. I wanted to finish releasing that pre-recorded content before I started uploading something new because we upgraded our microphone. We now have an actual professional microphone, which is great. So hopefully everything is coming in crisp. And I didn't want any of that to mix in with the older content. Um, it would have been very confusing if I sounded really great one moment and then not so great another. And so I decided to just upload all of that and get that out of the way. And so, as the first content using my new microphone, I thought we would do a positional slash Joseki analyze video. And in this particular one, we actually are doing a trick Joseki. And for a lot of you looking at this board, some of you are really confused and have no idea how white even got to this position. These white stones in the lower left are dead, and you have no idea how that happened or how they got there. And then some of you do know how those got there, but you don't know where the trick came from or how white failed. Some of you may recognize the Joseki that was played. So let's go ahead and take a look at how we got here. We're not going to look directly at that game yet, but we are going to go ahead and show you how we got to the Joseki. So the natural Joseki is actually a great Joseki for when you want to change directions. Normally, you would play this here, and then you would leave it. Black would actually just Tanuki. And we would look to take kind of this side of the board, right? But what if we want the top side? What if we want the top side instead? Well, we would play this, and we would play this kind of throw-in move here, and we're looking to get white to play this move. And this is a normal Joseki. This is an absolutely normal Joseki. Black would play here, white will Atari, and then black will connect, and white will do this knight's move here. And then black will add one more knight's move to protect the cutting point. And so this is a absolutely normal Joseki. White changes directions to go for the right side, and black changes directions to go for the top side. Pretty normal. However, what happens if we go back to this and black plays N3 or M3? Well, now the position's a little different. And this Joseki, trick Joseki, can actually be quite confusing because for a lot of people, and a lot of strong players especially, the best thing that you can do is to play as naturally as possible. And what often feels really natural is to play the natural move that was played in the Joseki. And so if we go forward with the original Joseki, we can see that white has a stone here at N4. But in this one, white doesn't have that stone anymore. So it feels almost natural to play this way. But this is getting tricked. This is how you get tricked. So black Atari's here, white extends out, and in white's mind, the only move that black can play is this one. Because it seems like the most natural. Because if black plays here, in white's mind, white has this move, which is very powerful poking point. But it doesn't work here. This is actually good for black. This is actually a good thing for black. So black doesn't play here. Instead, black plays here. And then white will play here, and black will connect. And there is no way that white can have the liberties to try and kill this black group. And so what ends up happening is instead, white can now play here, or white can double Hane. But regardless of what white tries to do, it doesn't actually matter. White can't really get out. There's just no way. And the group dies. So this is how you would get tricked. So how do we respond normally instead? Well, the natural way that we would actually do it is to play the second move in the Joseki before the cutting point. This would just simply be punishing black. This punishes black simply because we now have a Hane here as white. So if black Tanuki's away, we have this Hane, which threatens the 3 black stones. Of course, we don't want to play this right away. We do not want to play this right away. But it is an option. We can also poke at the stone here, threatening to connect up to it, which could allow us to create a base. And now we also have a pokey point, a peep point, or even a cutting point to threaten a ladder that may work at some point. As compared to here, where the only weakness that black really has to worry about is this stone. So now our weaknesses are less. So how would you respond now at this point? What is the best way to respond? Is the only way to play here? No, actually, there's more. There is a way for white to live in this corner. Oh, we're actually in the original Joseki. Let's go here. So there is actually a way for white to live in the corner. And the way that they live is by utilizing the weakness that black left behind on these stones. So what white can do is they can Hane here first. Or, even better, they can Hane here first. Black will have to Atari. White will connect. Black will create this tiger's mouth shape. White can push. And black will create this second tiger's mouth shape. And then white will play this. And we can already see that we have achieved 2 eyes. What, 2 here, or 1 here, and then 1 here. So we've already made our space for our 2 eyes. So let's go ahead and take a look at the professional games. The first one we're going to look at is we have An Kwangwook. I am probably butchering these names. I apologize. 9-dan professional, and white is King Manwoo, 9-dan professional. This was played in 2018. And this was actually the only game that I could find where a professional had a successful attempt on another professional player in tricking them. And we're not going to look at the whole game. We're just going to go ahead and speed through to kind of just get to the point where white becomes tricked. We can see that black plays here, this extension, which is the trick. And white instantly jumps in because it feels natural. And white gets put into the position where they have no choice but to give up the corner. And the position is just about an 8-point lead for black. And this is the situation where it worked. But let's look at a situation where it didn't work. Maybe white finds the trick. And here we have, I'm going to butcher these names again, I apologize. Black, Seo Nungwook, 9-dan professional, and white, Seo Bongsu, 9-dan professional. And this was actually played recently, as in 2023. So in professional games, sometimes they try to trick each other. And according to our last game that we just looked at, the beginning of the last game we just looked at, sometimes it happens successfully. And so here we get a little bit more play. Quite an interesting game for the opening. And we can go ahead and see that they're initiating the Joseki here. And black makes an attempt to play the trick. But white doesn't fall for it. And they play here. And now black has a lot to worry about. They have all kinds of weaknesses that they have to worry about. And it becomes a very easy game for white. And yeah, so that ends up being the trick. And I hope everything made sense and everything was clear. I really hope that the microphone came out really well. And before we end the video, I just want to say thank you to all my Patreons for making this kind of thing possible. I teach Go for a living. I make YouTube videos for a living. I stream on Twitch. I stream Go on Twitch for a living. And it's thanks to them that make it possible for me to do this kind of thing. And yeah. And well, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and please subscribe. It helps the channel a lot. And I will see you all in the next video.